Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwantner and welcome to SellingPower's Daily Report. Today we'll continue our conversation with Tim Askew. And now he's going to talk about selling as acting. You're a former Broadway producer, former actor.
Right.
Can you tell us, how did you discover that you have a talent for acting?
Well, that's something I didn't prepare for either. I was assistant dean at a college out in California. Harvey Mudd College was the name of it, a very odd name. It was an engineering school out there, and I was also in the process of getting my PhD in philosophy out there. And I did an amateur show, and a guy from Hollywood saw me and said, you know, I think you'd do well in acting. So I moved into Hollywood, and lo and behold, I got a job about 2 months later doing a play with Maggie Smith at the Amundsen Theater out there. And with no training, I actually had a career for about 10, 12 years. And I think that was a good preparation, even though I didn't start my company till 20 years later.
Yeah, what is the analogy between selling and acting? What can salespeople learn from the profession of acting?
That's a good question. I think the biggest thing they can learn is how to handle rejection. Because sales, I think, is very much about rejection. You have to expect it day after day after day.
But also, it's about performing.
It is.
And being on.
Right.
And being switched on.
Right, right. Yes, absolutely. That's right, and you have to perform no matter how you feel. And
how do you do that?
Well, I usually just start. You know, you start by starting. I used to have an old acting teacher that says, just start. You don't sit around and make excuses and talk about the problem. Just start. What I find on bad days is I'll just make the first couple of calls. I find I just get into a rhythm, and it kind of takes over for yourself. I try to get the focus off myself too.
I get the sense that you are sort of stepping into a flow.
Right. Very much so. I think that's true. And yeah, I think it's very important for a salesman to be very tuned into where he is personally on any given day.
So what about a customer? What if you have that overpowering character that you're playing against or with, and you're at the receiving end when you're in sales, and you have that overpowering customer in front of you? How do you sort of maintain your authenticity?
And I tell you what I do is I don't care. I mean, when I'm selling for my company, that's what I'm thinking all the time, because in a sense I don't. I mean, I personally have failed at many things.
You don't care about the outcome?
I don't. I don't care about the outcome, and I think that's personal. But you see, I think there are many ways of doing sales. For me, that's what works. I genuinely don't care, because, I'll talk about what... I usually talk about people's children that I see on the wall. I have children. I talk about God because God interests me. I talk about anything. I mean, eventually, I don't want to waste people's time, and I try to respect that. But I don't worry about the sale.
So you're really focused on the quality of the play.
Yeah.
And if you play well, then the outcome is almost guaranteed.
Right. People hire who they like, and they like people that are truthful and authentic, and I am that. And if I can't be successful and do that, I don't want to do this. I've been a bartender. I could go back and do it again. My wife had a big-time job if, things happen.
But there's something else about your career. You moved from actor to being a producer, to being an entrepreneur, to being a good teacher, to being a good philosopher, to be a good zeitgeist that fits into this world.
Yes, and I think everybody should want to do that. I don't think salesmen should think just with blinders vision about what product they're selling. I think you have to think of yourself as a citizen of the world, and it will bring things back to you 100-fold. And that's what I mean about not thinking about the specific outcome of a meeting.
So what you're saying is that we all carry our own share of global responsibility.
Yes, I do. We're citizens of the world first, and I think you think about that when you're doing that. All sales is, to me, is just telling the truth and telling it fiercely, and caring about people and giving them an added tool to help them with whatever they need.
Acting is about making connections, and selling is about making connections. And now you've made a hugely successful business out of it. Congratulations, Tim.
Thanks.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.